How's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about why the Houston Rockets just suck. Even if you're a Houston Rockets fan, look, you can't get mad at me. They are awful, and that is coming from a Pelicans fan. We are 5-16, and I am calling your team awful. Like, yes, we suck, but y'all are a whole different level of suck. And don't get me wrong, y'all do have some things going for y'all, but y'all are just really, really bad. And I really want to get into how the Rockets went from really being finals contenders for a very good period of time to now being the worst team in the NBA. I'm getting into all the moves and how I think they got to this situation they are currently in, and I'm getting to all that in this video. So if you do like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. That would mean the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first thing I'm getting into for this video is going to be that they completely, and I mean completely, botched the James Harden and Russell Westbrook trades. Now, it kind of did start a little bit before that, because when they traded Chris Paul to the Oklahoma City Thunder, they not only traded Chris Paul, but they also traded 4 first-round picks to the Thunder in order to get Russell Westbrook. They only ended up keeping Westbrook for 1 year. That was completely drama-filled. Apparently, there's a lot of frustrations between James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I'm pretty sure they got bounced in the first or second round that year, and then just a year later, they traded Westbrook to the Washington Wizards, and they were able to get John Wall and then 2 lottery-protected first-round picks. So in total, what they managed to get out of Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook, trading both of them within a 2-year stretch, what they got out of it was -2 first-round picks and John Wall, who currently is being paid not to play for the Houston Rockets. So from Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul, that little stretch of trading, they completely botched that. How you end up giving up more picks than receiving when trading guys like Chris Paul and Westbrook, I don't know how. And then the only player you get in return for both of those players is being paid not to play on your roster. It is very hard to mess up those trades that badly, and they somehow managed to do it. But then even in the James Harden trade, where they did get a better looking haul, it really isn't all that good. Because in the James Harden trade, this is what they basically did. It was a 4-team trade, and what they got was Rodness Kirkus, 7 Brooklyn first-round picks, Dante Exum, Victor Oladipo, and yes, that sounds very, very good until you see what they currently are at. Because all of those first-round picks, those are going to be very late first-round picks. Like, I mean, extremely late. Brooklyn is not going to be a lottery team anytime soon, and currently they are one of the better teams in the entire NBA, and I'm sure they will make a deep playoff run as well going into this postseason and for a few more postseasons down the line. So at best, like the 5th through 6th and 7th picks are going to be valuable picks, but all the rest of those picks are honestly not going to be all that valuable due to how late they're going to be in the first round. And then the only tangible players they got were Dante Exum, Victor Oladipo, and Rodness Kirkus. Rodness Kirkus was involved in a trade a few days later that didn't really matter that much. Then they also had Victor Oladipo, who barely played for them, and they traded him not even almost 2 months later. They traded him away for Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley and another 22 first rounder that is going to be a late first round pick due to where they traded him and due to who the pick is for. And then in the offseason, they released Avery Bradley and let Kelly Olynyk walk. So in the James Harden trade, they managed to get 8 late first-round picks to go along with 0 tangible players that they still currently have, which is insane for you to do. James Harden, although everyone knew James Harden wanted to leave that team, it is still former MVP James Harden. You could have got so much more for him, and you somehow managed to get 0 players and 8 not very valuable first-round picks. And then the overall haul that they did get from the Russell Westbrook and Harden trade, they got 2 lottery-protected first-rounders, 7 late unprotected first-rounders, while trading or letting go any players that they got. I don't know how it is exactly possible to trade Chris Paul, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook, get 0 actual physical talent, and get a ton of not very valuable picks. picks. Like, that is almost insanity how you can botch it that bad. Because James Harden, at least you can understand everyone knew he wanted out. Maybe his value was getting dwindled a little bit because that situation was kind of blowing up in Houston and his play was kind of down because he didn't want to be there. I can get that. But Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook, both of them, no one really knew they wanted out. And you could have got so much better and you somehow did not. And it is just absolutely insanity to get zero real talent and no real valuable picks out of that entire situation, trading 3 superstar level players. And then this year, those draft picks that they were able to get turned into Josh Christopher and Usman Garuba, both of which are struggling to get minutes on the current Houston Rockets team, who I think off the top of my head is like 2-16. When you're a young player that can't even get on the floor for the 2-16 Houston Rockets, who need to develop their young talent, that is a problem. And that was what 2 of those picks that they traded for turned into, Josh Christopher and Garuba. Now, I'm not saying those players are going to be bad going in the future, but right now it is not looking great. And that Jalen Green pick was just their own pick. They would have had that regardless. So I guess you could say in physical talent, they were able to get those picks plus Josh Christopher and Usman Garuba for Westbrook, James Harden, and Chris Paul. And if you ask me, that is just not an even trade. So I think them botching those moves really have set this team back a few years down the line. Now, although those are huge reasons why I think the Rockets are currently in the situation they are in, I do not think it is the only reason. Another reason is that they pretty much have zero identity on the floor. We don't know if the Houston Rockets want to be one of those grit grind teams, a quick high-paced team, a three-point shooting team, a beat you up in the post team. We don't know what the Houston Rockets want to do. In my opinion, they should be a running gun team because Christain Wood is a very athletic big man, has a lot of upside in that category. Jalen Green's a very athletic guard, very fast, very quick, very athletic. So I think they should be more of a running gun team built around their 2 best players, who are Christain Wood and Jalen Green. But right now, they really don't have any identity, and that is not completely on the team itself. That is mainly on the coaching. The coaching should have them playing at least a certain type of way that they can build off of and really try to improve in that certain category. But as of right now, they don't really have an identity, and that is a huge, huge problem when you don't even know the brand of basketball that you want to play. So having no identity is a huge reason to why this team is currently where it's at. And then my last reason is going to be that they are a fairly young team. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're one of the youngest teams, and I just looked it up. They are the 9th youngest team in the NBA. So that is a very, very young team, definitely a below average young team. And that is something that is bad right now, but hopefully good in the long run. As Jalen Green, I think, is going to have a good career. He's kind of had a little bit of a struggle, kind of picking up in the last few games, but he has had a struggle so far this season. But I think for sure, kind of like Anthony Edwards struggled in the beginning of last year, or his rookie season, Jalen Green is going to get better. He's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a star. And then you also have Christain Wood, who's 26, who's your second best player. He still has tons of time to develop and hit his prime. And I think Christain Wood's going to be a very nice player. And those are 2 players you can legitimately build around. I think if they can get a few more role players, a few more young, very talented players, and this team could look much, much better than they currently do. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be your first video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think the Rockets are bad for these reasons? Do you think there's more reasons? I'll hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you did like the video, point the like button and subscribe button. That would mean the absolute world to me. I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you can have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.